Greetings, beautiful nerds. Welcome to our 9th episode of our mini-series, Our Flag Means Doom, exploring the homebrew world of Odromia. I am excited to continue with this band of intrepid heroes as they somehow make it through this current arc that we're in. We'll see what happens this episode. Maybe we only do 9 episodes. Who knows? But who better to introduce themselves than our wonderful cast, starting with our intrepid Captain Blanche.
What's up, everybody? I am playing Captain Blanche Foret, also known as Farm Grown Nerd on most socials, TikTok and YouTube if you want to see me all the time, Instagram if you don't mind being updated every 6 months. I have several other shows that are all on. You can watch on my channels for them.
Brash Briggs.
Sod it. You may know me as Andy, but you may also know me as ValveMax010. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at ValveMax010, bro. And today I return to play Brash Briggs, first mate of the HARETRIGGER, and I hope I don't die.
Hatch.
Hello, everyone. I am Seth, and I am playing Hatch, the Dragonborn Blood Hunter. You can find me at Noctopus on TikTok and Noct.topus on Instagram and Threads. And if I am looking away from my computer frequently, is because I snuck attack a medium-sized spider.
Medium to large, let's be fair.
A medium-sized creature-sized spider in my apartment. I got the sneak attack, but it bonus action hid, and I don't know where it is anymore. So,
Oh my god.
we'll see if I make it to the end of the
invisibility on
episode.
itself.
Yeah.
Pandora.
Hello, darlings. This may be the last you see of Pandora, necromancer extraordinaire. I'm Emma. I'm not that creative. You can find me as Emma Romama, Emma Ramasco. I'm just Emma. But it's been a pleasure playing with y'all, and yeah, I'm excited to be here. And I'd like my character not to die, but may the dice lead me where they may fall.
When in the course of human events, do we ever get what we want? Anyhow. And of course, as always, I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, Andy, aka Mr.DanDyDM, and you can find me on Threads, including TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all the socials. If you happen to come across this episode and you enjoy it, head on back to episode 1 to see how our crew first got assembled and what adventure and mishaps led them to this unfortunate point. We do, of course, appreciate all of the likes and the subscribing that you've done to my channel. If you also like this show, please go and watch The Shadows of Ashkelon and Survivors of Ashkelon. Both of those shows, they take place in the same world, maybe around the same time, he says with a smile.
Question mark?
Question mark.
Grumble groan.
In italics. And now that we've got our intros out of the way, let us dive into our 9th episode of Our Flag Means Doom. Hatch. You are lying in the cot in your quarters aboard the HARETRIGGER. The sounds that sort of drift through your subconscious as you are fully asleep. Just the sound of the ocean waves lapping against the side of the ship as the HARETRIGGER makes its way northward. As you fall into a deep slumber, you see the town of Bright Ray once again from the top of the hill. An image now that you've become increasingly familiar with, given the events of the last several days. A point that you never can seem to reach. You can never seem to make it back to the town. Always staring at it from the top of this hill. What are some of the things that Hatch sees?
I think that because this is a dream and not actually one of the 3 times I've almost made it back, Hatch is remembering it like the first time that he went there. Blue skies, rolling clouds, people coming to and fro, everybody very friendly. Probably the best day he's had in town was the first day he arrived there, and he knew that this was the kind of place where he could, even at his relatively young age, could retire. And so, even though he, even in his dreams, can't really go into the town, whatever mental block it may be that is stopping him from doing so, he's able to appreciate what he's seeing from the top of the hill.
Who does he see? Any other memorable people? Any other fellow adventurers that you may have encountered?
I don't know about adventurers, but I would say that there was a kid who, God's bless him, was not afraid of outsiders. And so when Hatch, dragged his bloody, beaten body into town that first time, the kid just didn't show any signs of fear. He never grew up in a place where you should be wary of people that you don't know. And to be greeted so warmly by the residents, I think it started to give Hatch a feeling that he wasn't familiar with, or hasn't been familiar with in a long time, and that's this idea of comfort.
We will return to that image. Brash. Sleep does not come as easily to you. Given the events of everything that has happened, your mind is full of anxiety, given how unsure and out of whack and out of balance the world seems to be right now. And your mind goes to what were your first intentions when you joined the HARETRIGGER's crew? And who were you ultimately trying to prove something to? The thought go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I was trying to find a ship to join the crew of in Purpley, and people just kept saying, no, you don't have enough experience. No, you're too much of a novice. You're too this, you're too that. I was afraid that everything I idolized in my father, that he was literally everything I wanted to be. I was afraid I was never going to get the chance to do that. And I thought that it was the biggest betrayal to someone who had given me everything that I have. And so when I stepped foot on the HARETRIGGER for the first time, and Captain Blanche didn't see a liability or a tenderfoot, she saw someone eager to put in the work. It was like she had given me a chance to keep the promise I couldn't have kept on my own. And now, a few years later, after we've been together for a while, this goal of becoming a real pirate, someone they write legends and ballads about, the world Adromia over, that is now as much for Blanche as it is for Brash Briggs, my father.
We'll return to that moment. Captain Blanche, you honestly were fairly tuckered out by the end of the day. Mainly due to the fact that even though like everything was super chaotic, you got back to the ship. Everyone. We did the roll call. Like everybody's here. Everybody's safe. No one's the worse for wear, except for some, bumped elbows and scraped knees. Everyone worked. Everyone got out of Brecca. Everyone's okay. Like you're in your position right now. You feel very confident that your crew can take on anything. The icing on the cake that is how you perceive your current situation is the fact that you have this new friend, this tiny white otter that you've been like chasing around the captain's cabin, playing Pop Goes the Weasel a good chunk of the night. And finally, Felix gets plumb tuckered out in his current, tiny little magical otter form. He eventually just apparates right onto your shoulder, small though it is, and sort of just drapes himself almost like a 1920s flapper with like the fur scarf.
The mink scarf.
Yeah, the mink scarf. It very much like just sort of drapes and sort of curls around your neck, and it's like just falls very fast asleep. You just sort of feel sort of the relaxing weight of him, and you just sort of like curl up in your like little captain's hammock, and you also fall asleep very quickly. What dreams come to the mind of Captain Blanche, however serious or silly they may be?
Blanche is not so sure, and neither am I, honestly, whether this is more of a dream or a vision. She's walking through her home estate, essentially. I say estate. It's a farm. So she's walking through fields of little patches of cabbages, different rows of celery, and all manner of crops just growing all around her. She's just steady looking out and around. And at the end of all of the rows, underneath an apple tree, she spots her grandmother that she used to hear stories about. She walks forward, goes and sits next to her, looking out at the farm. Of all the places I expected to see you, this wasn't it. And her grandma just smiles, and she carries on asking a few more questions, telling a few more stories about Brash, about meeting Hatch, about meeting Pandora, and about the danger that she did not expect to come with getting as famous as her grandmother. And as she sits and starts to ponder to herself whether or not she actually wants that, or if she just wants to take care of the newfound family and the crew she has put together, she looks over, and Grandma's gone. And she looks back out across the field, and she just sits that way for a while, pondering.
Brash. As your dreams take you through the ships and the docks of Purpley and finding your way aboard the HARETRIGGER, and the memories of your father and the goals that you had set for yourself. As dreams are often wont to do, they take very bizarre, we used this word earlier, segues to something that feels completely unrelated, but is still relevant. And as you transition from standing atop the deck of the HARETRIGGER with the wind in your face and the waves sort of crashing around you, you being stalwart and steadfast throughout all of this, suddenly you find yourself once again upon a stage. And it is a stage that you are very familiar with as of late. It is the stage within the Silk Sensations, playing for a full house with a band, with a woman that you've come to have a little bit of affection for. And as you are playing, you are keeping time with your drums and you are driving the beat of the song forward. And all of a sudden, the beat that you are playing upon the drums starts to resemble a heartbeat. Thump, 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 And suddenly, Florencia stops her singing. She turns and looks at you with a look of fear in her eyes. And she looks at you, and softly she says, "Wake up, Brash. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake!" And then suddenly your eyes snap open, and you are no longer aboard the stage of the Silk Sensations. You are once more in your hammock, in your or on your cot, inside the cabin that you were sleeping in. Standing above you are two shadowy figures with very large swords that are just now coming down and striking into your chest.
I think all he'd have time to get out was a, "What the?" And then it probably happens. Unless there's some roll I could make.
You were asleep.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is a. They are honestly, they hit you. It is.
Yeah.
So it is a. House. That's 3 points of damage, and that is 9 points of damage. That is 12 points of damage total, right there. They just stab right. One of them catches you right in the midriff, right in the gut area, and the other one like stabs you like right in the like cleft between your shoulder and the other like part of your chest. They just stab right. You immediately this warm sensation just comes over you as the blood begins to seep from the wounds, and they just immediately pull out, and they're about to go and stab at you again. We'll get back to you in a second.
Gotcha.
Hatch, as you are looking down upon Bright Ray, what was the boy's name? Does Hatch recall the boy's name?
The name was Eamon. Eamon.
As you were looking down on the town of Bright Ray, you hear the voice of Eamon next to you. So are you going to visit us again?
I'm trying.
Well, there's always a place for you to stay. You know, people are always coming and going from Bright Ray. They always seem to find their way back here, though.
I want to. Miss you, kiddo. Give him a little noogie.
Well, if you ever do come back, I would really love to hear some more of your stories. You always have the best stories.
Well, when I come back, I'll have plenty more to tell. Though not all of them will be for your ears. You're a little young.
Hatch, as you say that, your eyes snap open. Gone is the village of Bright Ray. Gone is Iman. All you hear is the sound of stabbing. The sound of steel through flesh. And it is a heavy, sickening sound. It automatically, given Hatch's experience and his experience with the world, immediately your mind goes directly into combat mode. You snap awake. You hear the sound of stabbing coming from outside of the area of your quarters where you were staying, as you are below deck. What do you do?
So it's not in my room. It's outside.
It's not in your room. It's outside your
Okay.
room. So you're below deck. You are in one of the quarters. It's more so like it's behind a curtain. Like you have like your own little compartment behind a curtain, and it's like this little cot, and there's like maybe room for like an end table in there.
Okay. I will grab the sword that I have recently attuned to.
Yes.
And I'm going. Oh, that's a song. I heard like a buzzing, and I'm like, happening? I'll grab the sword. Oh my god, don't do that. I kick the door open, and without even looking at anything, I just scream, "To arms! We are boarded!"
That scream rings out. As you get past the doorway, you see the body of Friedrich lying on the ground with a shadowy figure repeatedly stabbing into his corpse.
Could I, really quick, could I, as a bonus action, immediately just go into my werewolf form?
By all means. You are in your werewolf form. Describe that.
So Hatch, he's cobbled together as much of the armor as he could put on in the fractions of seconds that he had, kicks the door open, and as he sees Friedrich's body on the ground, immediately his body is covered in fur, and his body changes to match that of his lichen form. I don't know if I have time to try and intervene, but I'm definitely about to throw some hands.
Okay. I will give you one attack action.
Great. Okay. Then, yeah, I will go in and do a good old-fashioned predatory strike. Just without the sword. I think my hands are going before my combat reflexes kick in. One strike, that's an 8.
The shadowy figure sees you coming and just steps to the side and just barely avoids your claws. But it definitely it moves off of Friedrich and just sees your form, and it definitely looks like it's cowed by your sudden appearance in your werewolf form. Captain Blanche, you are awakened as well, but it's by the tightening of Felix around your neck as you feel this. It's almost like they tense up, and you hear Hatch's roar from below. To arms, we are boarded. And what do you do?
So Felix isn't tightening on my throat, like he's not trying to suffocate me.
No.
He's just okay. That's I was making sure. She goes tumbling head over ears out of bed, just oh, shit, son of a lands flat on her face on the wood floor as she dives for the door, gets up, scrambles to the door.
Take 10d6 blood. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do that to me.
A fireball's worth of falling.
I was like, what?
Oh my god.
But she'll hurriedly push the door out and cast. Never mind. That's not going to be useful because it's. I don't like it. I don't have anything to do. I'll just get as far out the door as I can and start screaming it as same as Hatch. I heard two arms, just as loud as possible.
Okay. There is a clamor below deck as you hear many bodies suddenly just springing into action. That brings us all the way to Pandora, actually. Pandora, you have felt Draquelle's hands bodily just shove you up against the railing of the ship, just as arrows just streak past you and bury themselves into the wood directly in front of you. You were clearly the target, and Draquelle has pushed you out of the way.
Me?
At this point, you see 5 shadowy figures approaching you. Please give me a perception check.
Oh no! If I come back, my wisdom is gonna be jacked! Okay, perception. Come on, Emma, just roll decent for once in this game! 13.
Okay, on a 13, you see that all of these shadowy figures, as they are moving through the light of the moon, you do see that several of them are wearing various yellow garments, some yellow cloth upon their heads, some with a yellow hat. Others seem to be wearing a yellow tunic, some yellow pants, but all of them have like different garment pieces that are yellow. It's at this point that you suddenly see behind the ship, the now illuminated, as they have apparently given chase a good portion of the night at full sail. You see the ship belonging to the Charybdis Marauders, the one that had arrived into the bay at Brecca, as they are just now within 300 feet of your ship. It would appear that this is a initial landing party or boarding party that is attempting to take the ship without any damage to it. What do you do?
Fuck. Okay, so this is the initial boarding party, you said, right?
Yes.
And the other ship is 300 feet away?
Correct.
Okay. Ah, fucker! And how close are the 3 shadowy figures to me? I know they just did a ranged attack, but how
There are
far?
5.
How
I said
far?
5 shadowy
How
figures. There were
far
3 arrows.
How far are the 5 shadowy figures away from me?
They're about 40 feet away from you.
Okay. And are they, like, spread out or kind of, like, grouped together?
They're grouped together, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna fireball their ass, because, like, fuck this shit. Like, I ain't gonna last long if there's fucking 5 of them. You see Pandora, she tosses her hair to the Fae and goes, "Thanks for the hand, love. Now watch this." And she's going to take her wand, use it as if it's like a flint to strike it against her book, and with that spark, she'll cast Fireball towards the
Excellent.
figures, because I have no fucking clue what else I can do right now. So they have to make a dex save, and they have to beat 15.
Right. Have to beat a 15. Okay. That's an 8. That's an 8. That's a 6. That's a 13. That is a natural 1.
Get wrecked, motherfuckers!
Okay.
Now our ship's
so-
on fire.
I was gonna say, now the ship's on fire, but listen,
So,
there's another one.
Really quick, I'm going to have everyone roll for initiative now, and then I will roll up the damage. So for Hatch, that was how much damage for you? That was, oh no, you missed.
I missed,
You
yeah.
you missed your attack. Okay. Let's do this shit.
Does someone have a water spell?
Blanche, roll your initiative roll.
12.
12. Hatch.
That will be. Oops. Ooh, 21. Nat 20.
21.
Let's
Brash.
go.
Counting on you, Hatch. I got a 13.
Don't count on me.
Pandora Necromancer Extraordinaire.
Pandora Necromancer Extraordinaire 18.
Okay. Their armor class. Okay. Now for theirs. That is 19. Captain Blanche, just to let you know, the other crew members are going to go off of your initiative roll.
So you're responsible for 20 other people. -1.
I don't like it.
That one hurt, man. That one hurt.
If we have a cleric on board, they could revivify. No clerics. Oh well.
Just pirates.
Oops, all pirates.
I'm sure we have an alchemist somewhere that can make
You're
an
right, it's not the
approximation of
time.
something.
I was gonna say, like, they're cleric of the water, I don't know. Cleric of something, fucking who knows.
Oath of the Open Ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, that's paladin. Fucked up there.
Pandora, I need you to roll for damage.
Alright, that is 8d6. Since I cast it at 3rd level.
Excellent.
25 points of fire damage. And, things that are flammable are on fire.
The center of the ship, midships, is engulfed in flame,
Sorry.
including the pirates, though, right?
Yep, I'm sorry. I
Do
had
they?
to see that.
How much damage additional do they take per round until they're put out?
It doesn't say. Let me see. Each creature. the fire spreads around quarters, it ignites flammable objects. Doesn't say anything about continuous flame. Yeah, it ignites flammable objects in the area that
1d6
are
fire
being
damage
water
per
carried.
round of exposure.
Okay, cool. So 1d6 after that, then.
All right, and that'll be something I'll just roll
Okay.
every round. Let's see here. Okay, and then oh shit! Wow, that was 25 points of fire damage, correct?
Yes.
Stop blowing holes in my shit!
I know. I was just about to say we could take the other one, maybe.
Okay. The blast of fire suddenly, actually, no, it doesn't streak out from you. It actually, you just point your wand and you just blast suddenly this ball of flame. It starts off as like a tiny pinprick spark and then suddenly explodes into this brilliant ball of fire. It fully engulfs the 5 pirates who are approaching. 2 look like they took the full brunt of it, but they seem to be very not as affected by it. The other 3 burnt the fuck out of them. Like, they are really badly burned. They are screaming on the deck, just fully engulfed still. They're on fire. Their weapons are on fire. They look really bad. You do notice, because they're now much more illuminated, that the 2 that seem to be relatively not as affected as their other crewmates
Tieflings?
seem to hold a little bit more station. Potentially a captain and first mate.
Oh, what the fuck?
Wow, the captain was on the boarding
What
party.
the fuck?
That's fun.
Yeah, we're not going on Star Trek rules. The captain goes on board.
Tag team, let's go.
What the fuck?
Okay. They are actually up next. The pirate, you see it is a woman. It's actually both are women.
Gal pals, come on!
Yeah. They approach you, Pandora. The first one is the captain. They have a very large-looking cutlass that they immediately try to bring down on you. They get to make 3 attacks. That is a 19. That is a natural 20. And that is a 17.
They all hit.
That is a 1d8.
Ruh-roh, Scoob.
So I'll do the nat 20 first. So that is 8 plus 3, so that's 11, and then that's an additional 7 points of damage. So that is 18 for the for the nat 20. That is 2 plus 3. That is 5 for the second attack, and that is 7. That is 10 additional points of damage with the cutlass. The first mate is next up. They are going to, with their crossbow, they attempted to take you out at first. They're now going to try, and they see Draquelle rise from the deck, from where they were seated, and they are going to try and fire at them with their crossbow once again. That is a 14 plus 6. That is a dirty 20. That is a 4, and that is a 13. The second 2, the other 2 attacks miss. One attack does hit, though. That is a D8 piercing damage. That's 4 plus 3, 7 points of piercing damage. Draquelle takes it like right in the arm, and she you feel the dart go right in, or the bolt go right into her shoulder. She grits her teeth, yanks it out, and it's at this point that she sees black ichor upon the bolt itself. Immediately, she feels like she shakes her arm just a little bit, and she grits her teeth, and she has to make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. She rolls an 18. She makes her con save. She takes 24 points of poison damage. Oh, I'm sorry, half. So that's 12. That brings up Draquelle. Okay. Draquelle, I nearly said Alindra. Pandora, you take the full brunt of the captain's attack, and they're just bearing down on you with a cutlass, and they're slashing into you, and you're like trying to like move from them as best you can, but to no avail. Draquelle, in the meantime, takes the bolt in the shoulder, and then immediately, suddenly, you see she throws off the cloak that she was wearing, and like suddenly she flames on. Suddenly, her summer Eladrin form is revealed as she fully takes on that. She's going to face step directly behind the. Unfortunately, she's leaving you, Pandora, with the captain for the moment. She is going to misty step or face step directly behind the crewmates that are on fire, and you see her make 3 attacks. That is a 17 to hit. That is a 19 to hit. That's an 11. Let's see if 11 might hit. I'm not sure. No. Oh, it's I needed to make a 12. Damn it. In that case, I'm not. So, Pandora, thankfully, your fireball reduced a bosun, a first mate, and a deck wizard. The deck wizard had 7 hit points left. The bosun had 2, and the secondary first mate had just 1. Draquelle comes in with suddenly a long sword appears in her hand, and she it's almost like a dance watching her as she just passes the blade right in between the leather armor that this one first mate is wearing, and just like, it's like in that one Christian Bale movie where it's kind of like The Matrix. Equilibrium, where at the final battle scene, he just basically cuts Tay Diggs' face off. And it's basically like that. Suddenly, and the bosun and the first mate are gone.
Pretty cool. It's all right.
Yeah, it's not as good as Fearsome Presence.
All right.
All right.
So those two are gone.
Killer.
That brings up Hatch.
All right. Let's see. If you will allow me, so the Crimson Right, my electric weapons thing, would you allow me to do that on my claws? Counts as a weapon, I think. Okay, so I lunge at the shadow and I miss that first one, but as I kind of turn back to him, I'll drag my claws across my chest, and I will do, what is this? 2 necrotic damage to myself, and coat my claws in lightning. And I will take 2 strikes on the man stabbing our friend Friedrich here.
That is anime as fuck. So yeah, please do that.
First attack was a 9. That wasn't gonna be anything. Next attack was a 15.
Yep, you beat a 12.
Thank Christ. Okay, and then that will be, let's see, 4 damage plus, what was it? Plus another d4 of lightning damage. Another 2, so 6 total.
6 total? Okay.
Yeah.
You break the claws? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, and then I'm gonna book it down around a corner just to get out of view.
Okay. Alrighty. That completes your turn. Hatch, as you book it around the corner, you run right into the extremely imposing steel-appearing chest of Dozer, who moves around the corner, sees you, looks down at you, blinks, their blue eye registering your presence. They move past you, and the pirate who just got your claws raked across the chest, Dozer is going to attack. And with his glaive, he is going to make an attack against that. He rolled a 12, so that definitely makes it. But he's going to take all 3 attack actions on this guy. That is a 13. That is another 13. So he makes all 3 of his attack actions. That is a 3 plus 5. That is 8. That is 5 plus 5. That is 10. So 13. That is a 2 plus 5. That is 7. So 20 points of damage against this pirate. No sound from Dozer. Dozer walks right up to it, just walks around the corner you after like brushing by you. Just turns, walks, registers what's happening, and immediately just and then like pierces into this pirate's chest and then brings him right up to the ceiling and just pins him there. And brings him down. The pirate just drops, just his guts just pouring out onto the deck. That kills that guy.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
He is dead.
Still gonna kill Draquelle. Pretty cool.
Okay, that completes Dozer's turn. Pandora, you are up with Brash, because those pirates are dead. Brash, you're on deck. Or next. You're not on deck, technically, but you get it.
I wish you were on deck.
Me too.
How far am I from like a stairwell or, you know?
You are very far away from anything that would get you away from this
Son
captain.
of a bitch! Because I'm so fucked. Okay. Well, may as well go down swinging. Because if I take another, I'm down. I'm just going to go down. There's just no way I can. Unless the fireball didn't really impact the captain, right?
I mean, it definitely damaged, like it blew part of their armor off, and it definitely scorched them. So the fire is having an effect. It's just they seem to be way more resilient than the others.
Right.
These are also human, by the way. I just want to make that clear.
They're human?
Yes, pirates. Every single one of them.
But not creatures.
Not creatures, you bastards! Okay.
I'm so pissed about that. I was so excited.
I was so pumped for you. I've gotta. I don't know. And she's right on me. She's right fucking on me. Okay. Fuck it. I think Pandora is heavily bleeding. It's really the worst she's ever looked, which is saying something. And I think she's going to, like with her wand in one hand, grab some, because she's gotten slashed across, right, all over, right?
Yes.
She's going to take some blood that's dripping from her wound from her hand, reach out and grab the captain's throat and cast Vampiric Touch.
Oh, dang. Okay. Go ahead and yeah. Okay. So go ahead and roll for you. This is a touch attack, so you do still have to roll or no?
I roll to attack. Yep. And then if it's a successful hit, then I get to heal as well as cause damage.
Right. Okay. Give me that attack roll.
I'm gonna puke. That's me puking right there. Okay. Please. Does a 21 hit?
Oh, yes. Yes, it does. It definitely hits. Oh, yeah. It definitely hits. It definitely makes their AC.
And I cast it at 4th level.
Be sure Pandora's not a barbarian.
I cast it at 4th level. Nope, she's not a barbarian. She's just mad. And I think as her fingers, the blood from her fingers tighten around this woman's throat, it turns into this, you know, her purple magic is just swirling around her, and her fingernails, her lovely, elegant fingernails, dig into the woman's throat, and her blood starts to seep into this woman's neck, and she's holding her right in her face, and her tusks are like airtight. She does not look cute. She does not look pretty. So that's 4d6 necrotic damage.
Okay. And then you heal the same amount of damage that you deal?
I think I heal half. So 15,
okay.
It's not as great, but hold on, let's see. 15.
There's still sparkles, they're just red.
There's still exactly, they're spread sparkles. Yeah, half them.
Pandora just begins to smoke
RGB
right now.
sparkle.
And until the spell ends, I can make the attack again on each of my turns as an action, and the spell lasts for a minute.
So they take an additional. Wait, no. So you still have to roll to attack?
I think so. Until the spell ends, you can make the attack again on each of your turns as an action. So I think it's saying like the spell can keep
so you
going
don't have
if I
to.
wanted to.
You don't have to keep
recast it.
spending spell slots
Yes.
on it.
I don't have to recast
Got it. They're just basically marked. They take if you
Yeah.
hit every single time, they take an additional
Yeah.
whatever did.
Exactly.
All right, so
Yeah,
that was
a little like
15. That was 15.
15. And then
So
I
that-
heal
yes.
7. Which
Yep.
is not going to be enough to keep me up, but fuck it. It did something. Fuck it, it did something.
Okay. They're dead. They're dead. Does that complete your turn?
I can't cast 2 spells in a round, right?
One of them can be a cantrip.
One of them can be a cantrip?
How many attacks do you have per round?
Oh, I've only got 1. Never
Yeah.
mind. I've done my attack. Because I have a bonus action spell. I have Shoo. Shoo.
Is that an actual
What?
spell?
It says, I took this spell called Shoo, which is a bonus action. You sway your hands forward in a fanning fashion, speaking the verbal component Shoo. A creature with insight has been shooed and must succeed a wisdom save to determine if they're not shooed or frightened.
Homebrew, why are you doing that?
I don't
Get on out of here.
I don't know. There's an
I just want you to do that right now as a bonus action.
I
Come on,
don't.
kid.
I can't
Come on, get out of
I
here.
do that. So you have to make a wisdom save to make sure you're not shooed away or frightened.
You dirty rotten scoundrel! Away!
And I didn't even.
What did I have to beat?
A 15?
That was a 13.
Wait, hold on, but her hand is still locked in her fucking throat. So as she's got her hand in her throat, you see her other hand gently traces down the side of her face and goes, "Get the fuck out of my face, darling."
Oh no!
So she's frightened, but she can't leave because I've got her locked in her fucking throat.
I'm just picturing Helsing right now. Suddenly the visage is removed, and suddenly you get to see the true form.
Yes.
See, I was thinking
Okay.
Wedding Crashers when he's like, "You shut your mouth when you're talking to me."
It's that.
Actually, I just dislike your overall demeanor and your general attitude. Let's do this. I'm psyched. All right. So yeah, you do that. The once braggadocious, maybe arrogant moves of this pirate suddenly come to a full stop. It's like they're hitting a brick wall. They feel like hand or the claws almost grasp their neck just around their windpipe area. The claw or the nails sinking in and like almost extracting life from them. You see the sudden look of fear as you cast this spell, and so you have to let them go, right, in order for them to move away from you.
Yes, I'd have to let them go.
Okay, so remind me. So they are frightened of you.
They're
right now.
frightened. It's the frightened condition.
So do they have to move this round, or do they have to move on their next turn?
It does not specify, so I will let you make that choice.
Hold on one second. Let me just.
That's my homebrew you're using, so it has to be on their turn. They have to
Wait,
move
this
if
is
able.
your
Yes,
homebrew?
that's what I was saying. Is that how are you using my homebrew?
Oh,
I
it's
haven't even
because
published that
You
yet.
want? Oh, I'm sorry. You want to know why? It's probably because we're in the same campaign,
That's exactly what it is.
Possibly. Oh.
and you're
I-
The
stuck
frightened
sharing-
creature has
That's my-
disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear, so it has to move away.
Yeah,
So at the beginning of its next turn, it needs to move away from you.
got it.
Okay.
Thank you
See
for
that,
your
and I was
awesome.
wondering where it came from.
I don't know. I'm not really good with.
I am
just
not.
take
I am not
things.
opposed. I am not opposed.
Thank you for your homebrew today, saving my ass.
Hey, you still had to roll high, and you rolled.
It's true. It's true.
You rolled really decent. So, well done.
Okay. All right. So that ends my fucking turn because I
Is
can't
anyone
take
else
much
sweating?
more.
I'm like sweating.
I am full on sweating.
Yeah.
Okay. That completes Pandora's turn. That brings up Brash. Brash, you are next.
I'm gonna kill
With
him.
Blanche, or the deck wizard is next. With Blanche
What
on
was
deck.
that?
Okay. Am I still in my cot at this point with these two guys above me?
You are still in your cot. Yes.
Okay. In that case, as soon as I wake up and I register what the hell is going on, No thoughts, no hesitation. Just you guys hear the highest pitch whistle come out of these gauges ever. And I hit these guys with a 2nd level Thunder Wave.
We have to make some kind of save for this?
That'll be a Constitution save of 14.
Oh. Hold, please.
Okay.
Con save of what?
14.
That is a nat 1.
I love to see that.
And that's an 8.
All right. So these guys will take 3d8 of thunder damage. 3 4s. So 12. 12 points of thunder damage. And then also because they failed, they are knocked, I believe, 10 feet away from me.
So you're in a very tiny space. So they're knocked into the wall very forcefully, dealing an additional d6 of damage. It's just 2 points of bludgeoning damage, but hey, just damage.
And I will quickly get up, spending half my movement to get up onto my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think of how cool I can make this, but I'm also very angry and very scared at the same time. So there's a lot of emotions going around right now. But
can I just paint a picture real quick?
Yes, you may.
For you. Your eyes snap open. The very just thought of and the pain that you're feeling in the wet seeping of the blood as it comes all over your chest. It is part fear, part anger, part just you feel incredibly alive in this moment, and you just unleash this massive cacophony of sound from your gauges, and you blast these pirates right directly into the wall, and you just sort of like almost like the way I'm picturing is martial artists, how they rise. It's like, and you just rise from your cot, and then you swing your legs down, and you just stand there, just imposing, your eyes just blazing with fury.
And then as they stand there, as my bonus action, I will end my turn by empowering my tattoo. And as the light slowly swirls down my arm, delicately kind of beginning to light this room with just this kind of eerie purple, I will go, big mistake, fellas. Huge.
Okay. I'm terrified. That brings us up to the Pirate Deck Wizard with Blanche on deck next. You are actually on deck. You're sort of seeing, like, from Blanche's perspective, you walk out your front door and boom! Suddenly your ship is on fire. There are bodies everywhere. You see Draquelle suddenly appear and with like the grace of a ballerina just suddenly dispatch 2 pirates. Meanwhile, you see Pandora on the far side, past all the smoke and fire. You see her suddenly smoke, her eyes glowing red, and just digging into the throat of this one pirate. This pirate's like, nice. That we'll get to you in a second. There is a deck wizard that remains, and they are going to cast Ray of Frost on Draquelle, and also just sort of coating the surrounding area with like just ice, having the secondary effect of putting out the fire.
I gotta get a wizard v wizard fight. Keep them alive.
I don't know if they're gonna live that long.
Keep them alive.
I'm going after that wizard.
You're not on the deck yet.
I will be.
Which one, Draquelle or the...
Wherever there is magic.
Let's see, the summer, that does not hit Draquelle. They rolled a 14. Okay, that is a miss. Thankfully, though, they do put out a good chunk of the flames. Suddenly, the whole deck is turned to ice in terms of the midship area. Suddenly, it's just like icicles just sort of protruding from the deck, just spikes of ice. Unfortunately, it does make traversing the deck a little bit harder, as it is difficult terrain at this point. But the immediate effect of the fire is it is now put out. But they do miss Draquelle. That will bring up Blanche.
Okay, so she opens up her door, sees all that. Oh, I thought this was Tuesday.
Monday is deck burning day.
Okay, so I look out across the deck. I can see that. Does this appear to be a captain that Pandora is going toe to toe with?
You can tell just by the fact that they're not one of the dead bodies, so you don't even really acknowledge the dead bodies as they're kind of burnt to crisp. You do see that there is one of the it looks to be a first mate. Not that all pirate crews are decked out in the same way, but given your experience in the pirate clans that you've come across, you're able to sort of very quickly ascertain that is a person. That's a person who gives orders. That's a person who also gives orders, but also takes orders. So you're able to see that Pandora is definitely facing off against the captain, and Draquelle is facing off against a pirate wizard, and also the first mate.
And the deck is on fire in front of me, right?
No, the fire has actually been put out by the deck wizard as they tried to attack Draquelle, and they just blasted the deck instead with ice.
Damn. Okay. So there's a caveat of different things that I could do here, and none of them sound like a good idea is the worst part of it. I would like to see if I could scurry across the deck as fast as I can towards that captain, or towards the person in charge.
Okie dokie. I'll say, what's your normal movement?
30 feet.
30 feet. In order to, because the ice has made it difficult terrain on which I believe halves the movement that you can make across it. Sure of that.
Land stride. No, it doesn't.
I'm sorry?
Land's stride. No, it does not. It is.
That's right. Frickin' Harengon. Never mind. You're able to make it all the way there.
All right. Hippity hop straight to the top. I want to jump on the shoulders and then grab as much hair as I can and just do this number.
Okay. So you're trying to grapple them?
Yes.
Okay. Give me, let's see. This is a grapple, so give me an athletics check.
Oh, please don't still be cursed. That'll do. Thank you. Natural 20.
Okay.
Help me kill her!
Okay, let me just make sure. I want to make sure that I did this correctly. So grappling. Grapple. When you want to grapple a creature, you can use the attack action to make a special melee attack, a grapple, if you're able to make a multiple attacks. Okay. So this attack replaces one of them. Blanche, instead of an athletic check, this would be an attack roll. So this would, for your grapple.
Okay.
So this would replace one of your attack rolls.
That's fine with me. I get
Okay,
two
so-
attacks.
They, so this does succeed. They are grappled.
For the second attack, can I poke one of her eyes out?
You can certainly try.
Unarmed strike. Okay, that's not gonna hit. That's a 9.
Yeah, that does not hit.
That's what I get for being petty.
Bop, whack, whack, whack.
She gets toe beams to the forehead instead.
Yeah. So they are grappled. A grappled creature's speed becomes 0, unfortunately. And it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler or grappling effect, such as when a creature is hurled away by a Thunderwave spell. They are grappled. They're also frightened. And so this is a bad thing for them because they can't move away from you, but they also can't move. Just can't move.
Oh,
Go ahead.
real quick, just like as the end of my turn. You boarded the wrong ship, bitch.
is what they say.
Dog.
That brings up the two pirates that are fighting you, Brash. The first pirate is going to make an attack against you, or make two attacks against you with its longsword. That is a 6 plus 4, that is a 10. That's an 8 plus 4, that is a 12.
Nope.
Second pirate is going to attack. That is a 10 plus 4, that is a 14.
That one hits.
And the second one is a 15 plus 4, that is a 19. So
Yes.
2 hits. That is a 6 plus 2, that is 8. 5 plus 2, that is 7. So 15 points total damage. That will complete that round. There are other pirates aboard the ship, but you cannot see where they are. You do not know what they're doing. I'm just letting you know. All right, that brings up the pirate captain. The pirate captain, with fear in its eyes, is going to reach down into its pouch and is going to take its Blanche, you're not able to see this from your vantage point because you're just yanking onto their hair and just sort of, trying to choke them out. But they are. You feel their body weight shift. From Pandora's perspective, you see them reach into a pouch on their belt and they pull out some sand and they chuck it into your eye. I need you to give me a DC 16 Constitution saving throw or be blinded.
Pocket sand. Pocket sand. You got the Dale Gribble pocket sand.
I thought it was gonna be the sleep spell. Just blinded pocket
Literally
sand. This
got Dale
bitch.
Gribble.
Fucking bitch. I'm a sucker.
Actually, technically, each attacker within 5 feet. Both of you are within 5 feet, so this could be blinding. I need Pandora to give me a con save as well.
I'm gonna suck this bitch dry.
What was the DC?
Quotes?
16.
I'm on my way.
Are we doing phrasing?
No, we're doing quotes.
We're doing quotes.
They both went to the quotes. What was the con? SB at 16, you said?
16.
Out. Before I roll this, my hand is still in her neck, correct?
Yes, they have not been able to move away yet.
Great.
They are grappled, so their speed is 0 too.
Perfect. So when it comes to my next turn, I can still, even if I'm blind.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's important for me to know this. 18?
That is a success. You are not blinded.
Yay, I'm gonna kill her.
I rolled exactly 16.
Oh!
Okay. Neither of you are blinded.
Fuck yeah! Fuck you and your
okay.
sand, bitch!
Yay to +1 Constitution.
Oh.
So just it harmlessly flutters away in the wind.
Yeah, they just stare at her and they're like,
It's just quiet for a second.
Pandora's dripping blood. Blanche is just.
No, Blanche sneezes. She sees the hand comes up and immediately.
Okay. This. So that was one of their actions. They are still going to make 2 attacks against you, Captain Blanche. They're going to, using their cutlass, they're going to try and just stab at you. That is a 14 to hit.
14 is my AC.
And the second attack is a 13. That is a 13 plus 8. That is a 21.
Plus
No.
8.
It's a little scratch. It makes contact.
Okay. That is 8 points of damage on the first attack, and that is 2 points of damage on the 5 points of damage, sorry, on the second attack. So that's 13 total.
Okay.
They are very unhappy. The first mate is suddenly yells out, "Rally! Rally to the captain! Rally to the captain!" And is just yelling at the top of their lungs. They are then going to fire. Actually, no, they are going to drop their crossbow and they are going to make 3 attacks against Draquelle. First attack. That is a 19. That does make it. That is a 21. That also hits. And that is a 17. That misses. That... That is 8 points of damage on the first attack. That is 9 points of damage on the second attack. So that is 17 points of damage, slashing damage with the cutlass. Draquelle definitely feels both of these attacks as they just cut into her arm and slash just across, just drenching the deck with blood across the ice. And at this point, they also have to make a DC 15. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just the crossbow with the poison damage. My bad.
Yeah, fuck that crossbow. Someone pick that shit up. Someone burn that shit.
That completes the first mate's turn. That brings up Draquelle. Draquelle is going to actually, on their reaction, there's going to be a reaction to the attack. So this is a reaction that they're using called Frigid Rebuke. As you suddenly, Pandora, from your perspective, because you can see past the captain, you can see the ice that is like pervading the deck of the midships area. And you see Draquelle take these two attacks across the arm. And you see just the blood just go all over the deck. And she shakes off the initial attack, and she looks at this first mate, points at them, and suddenly using the ice that's already on the deck, she controls it and just it springs out, just coating into. I need them to make a DC 16.
Kill her.
That is a 14 on their con save, and they take 18. Hold on.
Yes.
18 points of cold damage.
Oh, the first mate first, please.
Okay. That is their reaction to that attack. Now for their attack. Draquelle, with their longsword, is going to make 2 longsword attacks. That is a natural 20. And that is an 8. So the first attack. So that is 8. So that is 11 points of slashing damage. And because they are in their now winter Eladrin form, as you can see, Draquelle is able to transition almost at will from the different seasons. It is not reliant on them being in the Feywild in order to do this. As you see them transition from their fiery summer into a winter immediately. You see they do an additional 3d8 cold damage. So that was 11 points of slashing damage. That is 2. That is 4. Nice. So that is 11. So that is 22 points total damage. That brings up Hatch with Dozer on deck, and then Pandora after that.
Okay. I take what is it called? The long sword of the shadow, and I stab into the open air, and I drag it down. I'm going to open up a dimension door to the top deck. Get in this fight.
Okay. Not to be a dick about this, but because this is the first time that Hatch has ever used this weapon, I would like you to give me a D100 roll to see how likely you are to appear on the deck or off the ship.
Okay.
This will be a 60-40. So anything above, I'm sorry. So it will be anything 1 to 60 will be you are on the ship still.
Okay, 60% chance.
60% chance you get back on the ship. If you get anything above a 60, then you are off the ship.
Okay, roll low. Roll low.
Can you swim? Can you swim?
Here we go. Roll low. Rolling low. 82. I'm off the ship.
No!
Death approaches.
So here's the thing.
No!
This is good. So this is going to be
My boy knows when to roll high.
Okay, so I'm going to make this even more difficult on you.
Hell yeah. Kill me.
Roll a d4. Roll a d4. If it's a 1, you are off the ship to the left, or to it's port and starboard. So starboard is to the left, I believe, or starboard is to the right.
Bow, stern, port, and starboard. Starboard is right, port is left.
Starboard is right, port is left. 1 is a port, is to the port side. Starboard is a 2. 3 is to, you're not going back, but you are going up. So you might appear up in the rigging.
3 is what I wanted, but a 2 is what I got.
Okay, so you appear just over the side of the ship. I'm going to give you an opportunity to roll a dex save. If you succeed your dex save, which will be, just give me a dex save, in an opportunity for you to like grab on.
This boy's not meant to live.
You immediately fall into the water. Thankfully, the dimension door doesn't drop you from a great height. It just drops you like right. It actually drops you if you were to walk straight through the wall of the ship. You basically appear directly on the opposite side. So on the port side or the starboard side of the ship.
I'm gonna look so cool. And dive into the open waters.
Let's see. So you do that one action. So that technically that is one action. So you still have your movement.
Yeah, I think I'm going to swim towards the ship.
Well, thankfully, you're not that far away. You're like within 10 feet of it.
Oh, good.
So,
I'm
yeah.
so glad. I'm not 500 feet away from the ship. I think that's the maximum range on the dimension door. Yeah, so I will ashamedly swim back to the boat.
So yeah, you're able to, I'll say you're actually, this is all for comedy. You're able to get all the way to the sort of the ladder rung that goes up the side of the ship, and you're able to crawl, and you're able to get to the very top of the rail of the ship, and you're able to sort of see what's going on. You see Draquelle is like right in front of you, fighting the first mate and the deck wizard. Ice is now coating that portion of the ship. You do see Pandora is off to your right, fighting with Captain Blanche against the captain of this obviously Charybdis Marauders.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. That brings up Dozer. You see Hatch as you move through your dimension door. You hear you see Dozer just yank the glaive out from the stomach of the pirate. The pirate drops down and the guts just go everywhere. You then see him turn and walk up the gangplank up to the main deck of the ship right before you step through and disappear in water. It's actually a weird disorienting effect because you swim back to the ship, you get up to the top of the railing, and you see directly in front of you is Dozer, who just looks at you like there's a momentary pause. It's almost like Windows 95 is crashed as they blue screen on you. They're like,
We're upstairs this whole time.
And Dozer is going to try and decapitate the deck wizard. That is a 16. They needed a 12. They're going to roll for damage. That is a 9 points of slashing damage. The deck wizard doesn't even see it coming. They cast that spell at Draquelle. They missed. Suddenly they hear sort of thundering steps behind them, and they barely have a chance to see the flash of a glaive suddenly cut their head off. And they just drop lifeless to the deck. They are gone. Dozer is then going to make his last 2 attacks against the first mate, who Draquelle is fighting. You do see this momentary nod of acknowledgement between Draquelle and Dozer. That is a miss. That's a 5. An 11 plus 9. That is a dirty 20 to hit. That is an 8 plus 5. That is 13 points of damage. Okay. That completes their turn. Pandora, you are up. With Brash on deck.
Since Captain Blanche is is grappling the captain and keeping her locked in, Pandora's just gonna lean forward with Vampiric Touch and
I'm gonna say you can do this attack at advantage as well, because the captain is not able to move, but they're also terrified of you. So,
with that, then let me roll first before I say my shit, because it might not happen. First roll 15 at advantage, though. We've got 15.
So, I'm just gonna look up Vampiric Touch just to make sure I understand it correctly, because it doesn't make sense to me that if you've already latched onto them that you are. Let's see. So the touch of your shadow, make a melee attack spell against your. On a hit, the target takes 3d6 damage, and you regain hit points equal to the amount until the spell ends. Until the spell ends, you can make the attack again on each of your turns as an action.
Do you think it ought to be treated like Witch Bolt?
Kind of.
Because right now it's just making sure that I don't have to keep recasting it as long as I concentrate. Like, I guess, like, I can keep going for it.
Might I make a suggestion?
Please.
The whole point of rolling to hit is if she hasn't already got her hands on her. She has her hands on her.
Right. So the spell duration is a minute. So I'm going to say that you've already cast this. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you need to. It's like if this person was on fire. So I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead and just roll for damage.
Yes.
What a wonderful day!
They shine in my favor, the dice gods. Bless me. 17, which means I get to heal 8.
Manic excitement is my favorite thing. I'm living for this.
You said 17?
Really
yes.
Different side of Pandora today.
So that's Emma. But what you see on screen is as Pandora leans in closer, her fingers are halfway into this woman's throat as she says, I can't wait to add your husk of a corpse to my collection.
It's the same side of Pandora, never mind.
Oh my god. Okay. Brash.
That was
Unless
awesome.
Pandora wants to move or do anything else.
Oh no, I need to. If I can kill her with this spell, I get to heal to like full with my little reprieve thingy. So I go kill her.
I will pick up my longsword that was probably just resting next to my cot, and I will go. You probably should have taken this, and I will slash at. Let's go with the one on the left first for just a basic longsword hit. Yoink. That is a. Where are my stats? That is a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Yay! The plus 2. Plus 1d6 for force damage because of the tattoo. It's with me rolling the same number over and over again. That'll be 6 points of damage, 2 force damage, 4 slashing damage.
I'm sorry, how much total?
6 points of damage, 4 slashing, 2 force.
Okay. They're still up, but they're looking really bad right now.
And I'm gonna hit them again with my second attack.
Okay.
That's considerably worse, but I think it still hits. That is a 14 to hit.
That is a miss.
Oh no, bro! What can I do? I don't know if I have anything else. Could I make an inference as to how dire the fight outside sounds?
Give me a perception check, and this will be at advantage because you're going to be using your nose on it.
Okay.
Yes, the bacon.
Thank
The burning
goodness.
bacon.
Okay. 15.
15. On a 15, you're you almost experience a little bit of a sensory overload as you're like your body is just pumping with adrenaline and blood, as blood is still pouring from the wounds in your chest, but you are still like very much like alive right now, and you like your senses immediately pull in the attackers around you, sort of the sweat of their bodies and the fear that they feel in facing you right now. The next sensation that you experience, or the next smell that you take in, is the smell of smoke from the fire up top. And then there's the smell of at least 2 others in like further below deck. Like in the,
Two
in the
other
hold.
Of these guys?
You don't know, but they're
not
what the
since I
crew
recognize?
smells like. You know what the crew
Right.
smells like. You do not recognize what these. You recognize that these 2 are not a member of the crew. So there are 2 below deck.
I ain't got time to worry about you piss ants. And I will run away from them, incurring their wrath probably. But I will start to make my way down to the hold.
Okay. They're going to make 2 attacks of opportunity against you.
Yep,
That is a 16 to hit,
that hits.
and that is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, those both hit.
Okay.
Ouchies.
That is 8 points with the first attack, and that is 5 points with the second attack. So 13 points total. You were able to take your full movement though, so you were able to get out of your room and move past down towards the gangplank, going down into the lower deck.
Everything hurts. Rest, keep it moving. And I'll just go on my way.
Okay, they're dead. Blanche, it is your turn.
Okie dokie. Looking at
First things first. Before you begin your turn, Blanche, you suddenly feel the familiar sensation of Felix suddenly apparating on your shoulder.
I'm gonna kind of look at him sideways. If I were to go handle another problem, do you think you could take this?
There is a momentary twinkle in the eye of this, or in this brilliant blue-eyed otter. As their eyes are so big, Blanche, that you can almost see the reflection of your face in them, as they just sort of like look at you like wide-eyed, just like if they could talk, it would be like, oh, goody. They're like nodding furiously, and they apparate, and then suddenly, standing next to Draquelle, suddenly in their full white chimera form, is Felix. Felix's lion head immediately roars. And hold, please. I need to. They're going to go off of your initiative, so just remember that you just need to say, "Hey, what does Felix do?" the next time that comes around. Let's see here, chimera. The chimera is going to. The dragon is going to exhale fire on the first mate that is fighting Draquelle right now. That is they need to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw. That is a 2, which is just great. Oh wow, now I need to get more dice.
It's so nice to hear that when it's not aimed at us.
Yeah.
Good roll. I like these rolls.
I like this one. But what are the
Okay.
ones down below deck doing is the question. Trying to sink the ship?
On my way to find out.
Oh, the treasure. You have the orb still, right? No, Hatch has
No,
it.
Hatch still has it.
I have the orb.
Okay, I need to get the orb.
7.
Or someone
They
needs to
take-
attune to this shit.
The first mate takes 31 points of fire damage. And they are on fire. Okay, so the multi-attack, the chimera makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite, 1 with its horns, 1 with its claws. When its fire breath is available, it can use the breath in place of its bite or horns. So it's going to make 2 additional claw attacks against the first mate. That is a dirty 20. That is a 24. And so that is 2d6. That is 10 on the first attack. And that is 8 on the second attack. So that is 18 points of slashing damage. The Chimera is going ham on this guy, or on this girl. The Chimera Felix in Chimera form suddenly unleashes this roar as it just gleefully tears into this first mate, blasting them with fire and with their claws. That will bring up the that was Blanche. That will bring up the two that were attacking Brash. Brash, they are going to run out of your room and they are going to try and take you out.
They better get me.
Their long swords.
Just for clarification,
That
Felix
is
went instead of my turn?
Oh, I apologize. I did Felix on your initiative order. You go ahead.
I was like, but I had a thing.
I will get to them.
Okay. Sorry, Pandora. I think you quite got this. Besides, I got better plans for your things. And she hops down. How far away is their ship?
How far away is their ship?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is a good question. So far, it's been 2 rounds, right? We've gone through 2 rounds of combat.
Yep.
They went from 300 feet away to 100 feet away now. They're very close. So at least, 100 feet is closer.
It's closer, but I ain't fine. Never mind. I'll wait. I'll keep my hold on her hair then until I see that ship get closer, and I'll try to boop her in the eye again. Just hope she doesn't get toe beans again. That's a dirty 20.
That hits.
That is 1 damage.
Smack, smack, smack.
Yes. Welcome to my world.
Okay. Did that complete your turn, Blanche?
No. The second smack. That's a 17.
That... You make their AC.
Smack. Another 1 damage.
Tiny furry bunny paws. Bing, 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 bing.
All the disrespect. That's what she's serving this round. All the disrespect.
How much damage did you say? 2 points.
2 points total.
Excellent. That will finish with Blanche. The two pirates who are fighting you, Brash, are going to chase after you, and they're going to make 2 attacks against you. That is a natural 1.
Yay.
That is another natural 1.
Wait, are you serious?
God, that is a new
Are you
natural
serious?
1. I'm dead serious. Oh.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you very much.
For comedy, it is dark in below deck, as for whatever reason the pirates saw fit to put out the lantern lights below deck so that they could very easily just stab y'all in the dark. They both go to slash at you and end up tripping and slashing each other.
Dumb fucks.
That is
Y'all kind of suck at this, don't you?
That is 13. Oh no, I'm sorry. That is 8 points of slashing damage. One pirate kills the other one.
Wait, what?
Brash, you hear the footstep, like the charging footsteps behind you, and you hear the swish of a blade. You sort of like duck reflexively, and blimey! Oh, and I'm so sorry, Rex. I didn't mean. Oh no, you're getting blood. Oh,
As
everywhere.
I'm running away, I'm like, he can't hear you.
Wait a second. He's not done. He still has the other one. Still has to
His other
roll
attack.
damage. That's 8.
Not a shot.
You hear, and basically what you hear is, "Are you getting blood?" Well, fuck you then. And you suddenly hear the other pirate suddenly like stab his buddy in the chest, and they both expire.
Meanwhile,
That is the luckiest I've ever gotten in this freaking game.
I'm sorry, like 2 nat 1s. I deserve it. 2 natural 1s back to back.
Meanwhile, poor Friedrich got fucking Jack the Ripper on his side of the ship.
Oh, why'd you have to remind me?
Okay.
Buddy.
It's fucking 6 new air holes.
Okay, they be dead. That brings, well, they're dead, so. That brings us
They're
back
dead?
up to the top of the initiative order with the captain. So that is technically, we're beginning round 3 again.
Wait, Blanche is whacking her. She's getting. This
Okay.
captain's getting fucked.
So this is beginning round 3 of combat. 3. Okay? I just have to remember that. Okay. That brings up the pirate captain. The pirate captain is going to, they're going to try and get free of your grapple, Blanche. So they have to make a athletics check to get free of it. That is a 15.
What are you rolling against? I don't.
Whatever. So your grapple
Was it at 20?
Let's see. Condition ends if
I
grapple
think it was, wasn't it? Or was it something else?
also ends if an effect removes. Escaping a grapple. A grappled creature can use its action to escape. To do so, it must succeed on a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics contested by. You need to give me a contested strength athletics check.
That is a 12.
So in this moment, they grab onto you, Blanche, and they just like rip you off of the back of their neck, and they just throw you down on the ground, and they are now free to move. They are still frightened of. Actually, I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw to see if they can get free of the shoe.
Next, it's the heel. Boom! Stiletto stab.
That is a 16.
Yeah, 15 is my save.
Okay. They ungrapple, and they are no longer frightened. That is 2 actions right there that they've just done. They look around. They bring up their cutlass, and they're going to attempt to stab you, Pandora.
Good thing I healed a bit. Please tell me it's just
That's
one
a 2.
attack. Oh, fuck you, bitch!
That's a 2. As they take a swipe at you, as they do, they say, "Where is it? Where's the orb?"
She gestures to her bountiful chest and goes, "Right here, bitch!"
Okay. That will complete their turn. Decided not to move. That brings up the first mate. The first mate is going to try and move away from Draquelle and the Chimera because it sees that it is extremely outmatched right now. They're actually going to run and try and jump off of the ship and back into the water. First, Draquelle is going to make an attack against them. That is a natural 20. So that is that's technically okay. So 1d8. So that's 11 points plus the 7. So that is 18 points of piercing damage, plus the 3d8 for the cold damage that they are doing. That is 13 and 19. So that's 19 plus, what did I say? 19 plus 13? Yes. Okay, so 19 plus 13, it's 20, no, 32.
I'm bad at math!
19 plus 13, yeah, it's 32. 32 points of damage on the first mate. That brings up the Chimera, who is going to make 1 opportunity attack against them. Where is it? Where did the Chimera go? Oh, they're there.
Felix!
They're going to make 1 bite attack against them. That is a 9. They miss. The The first mate turns to run and immediately feels the longsword push through into its back as it just sort of like races away. And you suddenly see this ice, Pandora, you see this ice suddenly grow out of this first mate's back as she screams in pain. It definitely hampers her trying to make a graceful jump off of the ship, and she just sort of like runs, trips, topples off into the water.
Kill her! Kill her!
Okay. That was a weird moment for the music to end. They are gone from the combat. That will bring up Draquelle. Draquelle is going to race over to the captain, who is no longer afraid, and they are going to cast. Oh, what do I want to do? Draquelle is going to cast Suggestion on the pirate captain.
Give me her blood!
Is it just the captain on the deck right now?
That is
Wasn't
correct.
there also what happened to the spellcaster?
The wizard had shink by
Oh, he got
Decapitated.
got. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So if you see
they
the first
fail.
mate in the water, shoot him down. Kill him.
They
Just
fail.
got out of the water.
They fail their wisdom save, and Draquelle is going to come up right behind the captain and whisper in their ear. Pandora and Blanche, because you're standing right there. You hear Draquelle whisper into the pirate captain's ear, "Darling, I think it's time that you go for a swim. Swim, swim, swim." And the pirate captain just suddenly goes, her limbs just sort of go lax, and she no longer seems to be aggressive towards you, Pandora or Blanche. And she immediately turns and swan dives into the water.
Nah! Pandora's growling and pissed. That was her kill.
In terms of anyone on deck, there is no more threat. That ends. We are still in initiative order though, for reasons. Hatch, you are on the railing of the ship. What do you choose to do?
Okay, so I see that the deck's been cleared of threats, right?
Yes.
Would I have? Oh, actually, I'm not. Brash let out a thunder wave or something his first turn, so I would know that he's probably being attacked too someplace.
Yes.
Okay, so if I see that the deck is clear, I'm gonna first climb up on it. I'm gonna look at that sword. I'm gonna say I'm gonna give you a very clear image of where I want to go. It's not over the side of the boat. Do you hear me? Take me to Brash. Take me to Brash.
You hear a feminine voice respond to you. To Brash we go. You cut a hole in the space in front of you, and you see Brash. What actually you see is kind of humorous. You see Brash running down a darkened hallway. Suddenly, you see the two pirates, like one tried to stab at Brash and miss and actually strike his buddy, and the other buddy his buddy, who's no longer his buddy, immediately turns and like stabs him right in the chest, and both of them sort of just fall apart in the hallway. And you see Brash moving down towards the stairs that go further down into the hole.
I like very awkwardly climb through the hole like it's a little too small, so I just kind of step over it like a low barricade.
So sorry. Let me help you with that. And the hole gets slightly larger.
Okay, you know what? We'll unpack that later.
I'm just picturing
Always here for
Judy
you, darling.
Hopps in Little Rodentia trying to not step on all the.
But I will chase after Brash. Brash, first mate. Are there any more?
Yeah, come on. I mailed a couple downstairs. I think
Did you see that? I like jog up next. Did you see that? They fucking fell on top of each other and died.
I did see that. Come on.
Also, I think Friedrich's dead. Or at least he is unconscious.
My pace, like the tempo of my footfalls, falters for just a second. And you just see his shoulders kind of go. And then he moves again, faster.
I will take up the rear behind you.
We're about to fuck them up.
I'm about to get fucked up.
We just gotta get you like the best armor known.
I just need a better hat or something.
You can have
PC
mine.
35.
I don't wear a lot of hats. They don't look good on me. I have a big
Nice
head.
cravat, maybe?
Cravat, I guess I could do. Or maybe a beanie.
Or a cool chain that hangs off your horn. That's
What is this?
pirate.
Is this 2006? Chains.
So that was Hatch's turn. Hatch, you moved right alongside with Brash as you're both now descending the stairs down into the darkened hold. There are no lanterns down here. It is dark. Do either of you have dark vision?
No. I have my lightning hand, my lightning fingies.
I have my glowing tattoo.
Maybe if that's like a 5 foot.
You guys are like going in with glow sticks.
Basically, yeah, we're going
It's
to
a
a
rave.
rave.
Very well.
To the rave we go.
You do
To the
see
grave
some
we
lanterns
go.
that are like hanging on some beams, some cross beams as you descend. That will complete Hatch's turn though, as we'll end it with you on the stairs going down. That will bring up Dozer. Dozer immediately looks at Felix, nods appreciatively, looks at Draquelle. Draquelle, you all right? Yes. She smiles weakly at him. She holds her arm. Yes, Dozer, thank you. It's going to take a second. I believe one of the blades is poisoned, or one of the bolts, rather, was poisoned. Sorry, I feel a bit weak. And she sort of just feels behind her for the railing and just sort of like sits down on the deck again. Dozer looks at Felix, says, looks at Blanche, says, I believe it would be prudent to get as far away from that. And he points at the Charybdis Marauder ship that is now 50 feet away and is slightly tacking to get in and alongside you. You do see at this point, Blanche, because you're facing in that direction, you do see that the portholes on the side of the Charybdis Marauder ship are beginning to open and cannon are beginning to push into those openings.
And I set it on fire.
Actually, Dozer, that will complete Dozer's turn. Pandora, you are up next.
Pandora is pissed that her kill got away, and she sees how close the ship is, and she turns to Blanche and goes, Captain! And she's pissed. Mission to fire away as her
Light 'em
wand,
up.
and she'll fucking cast Fireball again.
Where are you casting Fireball?
So, Emma's brain goes to the powder keg room, and it just goes boom, but then we'd get hurt, so we can't do that.
We
So-
don't know that.
That's Emma making that assumption.
That is Emma making that assumption. Pandora is a bit smart. Can I roll like an intelligence or something, or investigation?
I will say give me a history check because you've spent just enough time aboard this ship to know where its gunpowder is.
Yeah.
But the ship that is coming up against you is a slightly larger ship, so there's maybe a slight difference in location. But yeah, give me a history check.
Nat 20. 24.
Pandora doesn't know shit about boats. Doesn't know the first thing about boats. But it is based off of just the experience aboard the HARETRIGGER and just sort of the intuition of it all. Just like, if I were a ship's captain, where would I put my gunpowder? And as you see the cannons being beginning to point out through these portholes, you look and you're like, probably somewhere close to those. And you just sort of, I would like you to give me give me an attack roll.
For my fireball.
Yeah.
So am I using +8, like my firebolt, like my standard spell attack that I would use?
For your spell attack, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay. I rolled a 19. That brings it to 27.
I need more dice.
Oh my god.
That's the second time he said that in this session.
I know.
Second.
And it wasn't for hurting us.
Yeah.
No.
Great.
No. Burn.
D6s.
Pandora's god complex is about to be so much bigger.
It's gonna be. You guys
It's
are
gonna be
fucked.
so much more annoying.
I was gonna
after
say,
this.
you guys are fucked. You're truly fucked after this.
You're welcome.
First off, Pandora, I need you to roll your damage for the fireball.
Okay, I'm casting this at 3rd level because I don't know. I want to save my 4th level polymorph just in case you never fucking know.
I forgot you have polymorph now.
Yes. I have it as a backup. 28.
28 points of fire damage.
Yes. Keeping that polymorph in case someone down below is more powerful than they seem. There's only 2 though, right?
Only 2.
That we can sense. That you guys
And
can
I could-
sense.
I could smell.
You could sniff. You could snuff.
Two that we know of at the moment.
Smell them.
I can smell you.
What was that one? Some people were playing a video game and they had someone do a Morgan Freeman
Morgan Freeman
impression.
impression.
Exactly what you
I can
That's
smell
exactly
your
it. Can you do Morgan Freeman for me? Smell you.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Sebastian.
I can't.
I remember the first time I saw Andy Dufresne. 3, 6.
kind of do want the
9,
tagline of the hair trigger
12,
to be Gold
15.
Morgan Freeman.
19, 20. Okay. So that was 28 points of damage from your fireball. Okay. Pandora, without asking Blanche's permission, or actually, you do ask,
I do.
but then you just do it.
Yeah.
Blanche doesn't even have time. Blanche does not have time to even say, "Oh,
You're doing it while you're asking.
Hey, can I do this?" And
Is this fine?
you with your wand, you just and you don't see where the spark goes. You just see this momentary, abrupt spark of light come from one of the portholes where one of the cannons is just now beginning to find range on the hair trigger. There is a flash of momentary light, and then I'm going to say I need everybody to give me a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
It's been real.
I'm sorry,
19.
not Blanche, or I'm sorry, not Brash, not Hatch.
19.
I got a natural 20.
Can I just pop my head up so I can look at it and then go back down?
No, yeah, you don't see shit. I will say, here's what I'll give you. The light that is caused by what happens next illuminates coming through the portals on your side of the ship, illuminates the area around you, and you're able to see a little bit better as you go down the steps.
Oh, nice. I bet you we totally could have looked right at that and not been hurt.
Could have looked right at it and probably could have gotten superpowers.
Really good.
Pandora, what did you roll?
This is a con save,
Yes.
and the good rolls have come to an end. That's a 5.
You are blinded.
That's all right.
Blanche,
I'm still
what did you
gorgeous.
roll?
19.
All right, you are not blinded, thankfully, because... Oh my god, so much damage. 6, 12, 14, 20, 23, 25, 26, 29, 30, 35, 37 points of damage there. That was the additional fire damage. That's 37 additional points of fire damage. Now for the force damage. That is 9, 14, 17, 19, 23, 25. Oh boy. 30, 35, 40, 44 points of force damage with so 44 plus 37. 44 plus 30. That is 81 points. 81 points total damage. Blanche, from your perspective, you see from your perspective down on the deck, you're not able to necessarily see over the railing, but you do see the mass of the ship fast approaching. That in you're like in the back of your mind, you suddenly think they're within gun range right now. They are totally bringing their guns to bear on us. We need to move. You see Pandora just sort of smile at you and just be like, "May I?" And you don't even have time to say, "What are you gonna do?" It's just you hear the cries of you hear the explosion of the fireball. And then you hear the cries of the crew coming from the other side of the ship, the gun crews of the Charybdis Marauder vessel. And then suddenly, the air is just full of smoke and fire, as it is like you suddenly see the midships of the Charybdis Marauder vessel explode upward as the back of this ship is broken. You see the sails immediately splash into the water next to the hair trigger. You see immediately this ship start to take on water as you peek over the railing, and you see the entire port side of the ship where the gun holes are is completely broken into, a massive hole is now coming through, just allowing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gallons of water just to come in all at once. You see parts of human bodies just litter the deck, and you see some of the crew still on fire just jump into the water as they are trying to put themselves out from the black powder explosion. That was Pandora's turn. I'm sorry, guys. That wasn't really the music I wanted to have for that moment, but I didn't know it was
okay.
coming.
I loved it. I loved all of it.
Pretty good turn.
How
They're
fit,
dead.
though.
They're dead. Brash, it's your turn.
All right, as I'm coming down this stairwell, and that kind of rocks me, and I get that momentary flash of light. I'm able to see kind of the setup.
Give me a
here.
perception check.
Okay.
I will say you don't have to do it at disadvantage because you are momentarily able to see.
Oh, 17.
17. On a 17, we are going to take a break.
Oh, jeez. Imagine if you got lower.
Imagine. I was about to say
Imagine
a joke,
dragons,
but I was like,
everyone. Just imagine dragons. And we're back. Brash, you rolled a 17 on your perception. Brash, as you're descending the steps, you're about halfway down the steps with Hatch. As you look around, you see two dark figures down about 30 feet towards the front of the ship, but still below decks all the way. You're barely able to make them out as there's this momentary flash and then suddenly a massive, almost a sonic boom as there is an explosion from... You do see two shadowy figures off on the extreme front of the ship. What do you choose to do in this moment?
I'll turn the hatch on me. All right. No turning back now. Excuse me. You have a ticket to be on this ride? And I'm going to start walking towards them.
Who are these two? Maybe they hired them. The people who hired the Charybdis Marauders.
Probably.
Oh, I know who you're down there with.
There is that momentary flash. You see these shadowy figures. One of them looks vaguely feminine in appearance. The other one looks very familiar. They're wearing a very familiar wide-brimmed hat.
Oh, fuck.
You see both of them turn A smile creases Shiv's face. And he looks at the woman who is standing next to him. And at this point, the light from the explosion is dimmed, but the fire is still illuminating certain portions of it. Well, Rihanna, they are right where you said they'd be. Very, very good call. He pulls out his daggers. He gestures. Let's see if things change depending on the choices you've made. Which one of you has it? The woman named Rihanna looks at Shiv, then looks back at you, and looks at you, Hatch. The Dragonborn. He has it. And as she says that, you see in her hand a very similar looking orb. And in it, you see her swiping through the images of different people, all of whom you recognize as members of this crew. Until it alights on Hatch. She swipes up. Hatch. It isn't pain, but there is almost a tearing feeling. As if something has gone horribly wrong. Brash, from your perspective, as you are standing there with Hatch, barely illuminated in the dark of the hold, you suddenly look to your right, where Hatch is, or where he's supposed to be.
Oh,
Hatch. I need you. It's going to be a very high roll for you. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution, you say? All right.
Is there any shot I'd be able
out-
to give him inspiration?
Bring out the glowy die for this one.
Who have you given inspiration to so far?
I gave inspiration to Blanche when we were heading back to the ship, and then we had our short rest, and then I have my inspirations back.
You do.
So I have 3.
I will say, here's what I'll do. I will say that in the moment going into this combat, not fully knowing who these creatures or people were, as you knew that there were 2 of them, and you knew based off of experience, Hatch goes down quick, potentially. And you've already taken damage yourself, Brash. So you give your crewmate an inspiration. So Hatch, you are bardically inspired. So that is a D8, I believe, or a D6.
Yes. It's a D8.
It's a D8. You are bardically inspired, Hatch.
Okay, here we go. That is a 19 on the die, plus 2 con, that's a 21. You know what? I'm gonna use it anyway, just in case. That's a 7, so 19, 21, 28.
Oh my god!
I really, really hope.
I clench my abs real hard.
I will also say, give me an additional D8 roll.
Ooh,
It's the sword!
it's an 8.
Okay. So that would be a 35.
Where did I get the second 8 from?
The sword.
As you see Rihanna swipe with the orb, you feel, where are you holding the orb on your person?
It would be in a pouch. I don't want to even act like I know what she's talking about.
Where on your person is this pouch? Is it a pocket?
I probably keep it back right side. I keep the village pouch on the left, orb pouch on the right.
Okay. In this moment, the orb pouch vibrates. And that pain, there is sort of a growing pain in your chest. And you watch as one of your hands disintegrates, and then your arm, and then your shoulder. Suddenly it just falls away into ash. And that's where it stops. This woman named Rihanna looks up at you in a very confused manner. That's not how it's supposed to happen. The Twin Stone. It must be protecting him. That is unfortunate. Shiv? I'll leave them to you then. Shiv looks over at Rihanna and says, with a twirl of his daggers, "Yes, mistress." And he dashes forward. And he closes the distance in a blink of an eye. And he is going to make 3 attacks against you, Hatch.
What the fuck?
Actually, two attacks against Hatch, 1 against Brash, because you guys are standing next to each other.
Okay.
I don't feel so good, first mate.
Oh, that's low.
That is an 18.
That's low.
Hits.
That is an 18 to hit Hatch.
Dick
Currently-
move, Seth. Dick move.
I'm currently at 19 hit points.
That is 16 slashing damage. Then for the second attack, that is a 19 on the die.
It's
That is an additional 10 points of slashing damage.
okay. I'm down.
As he is slashing into you with his 2 attacks, you see him just grin at you as he is cutting into you. It's more so like he's like cut and slash directly into your chest. And has his blades like in you. He just sort of looks at you and just like, "Oh, I've grown overly fond of killing you." And he pulls the daggers out of you, and then just takes a slash at Brash's neck. That is a 17. That is 13 points of slashing damage.
I'm barely up.
Okay. Okay. I will need you to. This is. We can continue to go off of this initiative, or we can go roll a new initiative for you, Brash.
I will roll a new initiative.
Okay. All right.
I'm using my melon dice. 16.
Oh, that's a 2 for Shiv. And that is a 19 for Rihanna.
Is Rihanna what's his face's daughter that he was talking about?
You don't know. As you take that slash from Shiv, you see Rihanna move almost. It seems slow at first, but then suddenly it is like they suddenly appear right next to Hatch's body. And they look down. You see they reach down, and as they've gotten closer, you see the pouch that has the stone in it. And they take the pouch off of Hatch. And you look and you see them just sort of look down at the stone they have in their left hand and the pouch they have in their right. They look at Shiv. Yeah? Tick tock, Shiv. And she turns and has turned her back to Shiv and Brash.
Is she walking away from me?
Yeah. Or no, she hasn't moved away from you yet. She used her movement to get to you and or to get to Hatch's body. Brash, you are up.
Is there you said there are portholes in this room, right?
There are not in this portion of the ship. There was above you. So you're in the hold right now.
Okay. Oh boy. There's something I would have done if I could be a through line, but I don't think I can in this part of the ship. So exhausted, I will reach down and I will kind of just grab Hatch, like hold him like in like sort of a half hug. And then as I look up at Shiv, just Alice in his eyes. I would like to cast Dimension Door on me and Hatch to try and get us as far away from him as possible.
Without even turning to look at you, Brash. Rihanna raises her hand.
Fucking bitch!
And she counterspells your Dimension Door. No. And you see she's looking down at the stone in her left hand. She's... No, I think this might be where you end.
And hearing that, if Hatch was awake, every bit of confidence, jovialness is gone from Brash's face, and he is utterly distraught, and tears are beginning to make their way down his face. And he, with no other option, just kind of, I'm sorry, Hatch. I'm sorry, Dad. And that's where I'll end my turn.
Shiv very briefly looks over his shoulder at Rihanna. She nods. It happens so quickly, Brash. They rolled a 16 on their first attack. That's the 16 on the dice. So that is a dirty 20. And then they rolled a 3 on their second one. Jesus Christ. They rolled 6 points of damage.
Come on.
That was
Yeah,
it was
down.
a frightfully low roll. I rolled a 1 and a 2, and then their additional damage added up to a 6. And so
For those of y'all who can't see it, I had exactly 6 points left.
you fall unconscious as they just slash across your chest and just cutting even deeper into the wounds that already exist on you. Your entire front is just awash with blood as you are just pouring from multiple wounds.
I imagine that Brash, even in that moment, would kind of fall on top of Hatch to try and stop anything else from happening to him.
As the world goes black for Brash, what is the thought that sort of comes into his mind? Or the last image that he sees?
He is back on the stage. And Florencia is there. And his dad is there. And right in the front is Pandora, Blanche, Hatch, the rest of the crew, even Tyler, and his mom. And he can't hear anything, but he knows they're crushing it.
Brash, your body falls down on Hatch's body. Hatch, I need you to give me a death save.
14.
It's a success. Brash, I need you to give me a death save. Oh no.
That's not that one. That's not
I'm trying
that
not
one.
to cry. I'm trying not to cry. That is a natural 20.
No fucking way.
Oh god, I'm gonna.
You so-and-so.
Oh man. Well, folks, for those who don't know, a nat 20 on a death saving throw means that you are back up at 0. And you are stable. Or no, you were back with 1 hit point. You were back with 1 hit point.
Yes.
And roller coasters of emotions right now. You are back up at 1 hit point. Your body has fallen on top of Hatch. I will say, unless you want to do something extremely risky, give me a performance check to see how well you can play dead.
Play fucking dead! This is the best performance of your life!
Dude, live your truth.
I think I will live my... Are they still there? Like,
You don't know yet. You haven't even gotten
Okay.
a chance to look around. All you know is that you're lying. You had the intention of falling on top of Hatch's body. And you did just that, and you sort of you snap there's this momentary moment where you are on the stage and you don't hear the music. All you know is that you feel this elation, and then suddenly you are back.
I still have one last second level spell slot. If it's cool with you, could I maybe try and furtively cast a healing word to Hatch?
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna say
I imagine healing word involves saying something.
Play
It
dead!
does.
Play
It
dead!
does.
It does have the word in the spell
yeah. I
name.
was trying to figure a way around it though.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
man.
more. It's
Yeah,
rough.
it does require the spoken word. So
If I may,
Does it have to be a loud spoken word?
if I may, I would like to have if Brash could recall the words that I told you after my first brush with death. That if you need to prioritize the crew, you have my full permission to prioritize the crew, which includes yourself. So if you need to protect yourself at the moment, I would do so. But that's me speaking from underneath you.
Yeah.
and not really, 'cause
Not
you're-
actually saying anything because I am dying.
Just so you know, I know we're bleeding out right now, but
The gas is escaping my body. Make
Do you
that
remember what I said to you all those days ago?
This is that anime flashback.
yeah, it is. Brash would think about it, and maybe his fingers would even start to move, but he would remember that.
Give me that
And
performance
as-
check then.
yeah.
See how well you play dead.
Please just play dead!
Can I give the help action?
Oh, fuck! That's a 4 plus 9. That's a 13.
Okay.
Damn, good performance.
Yeah. I was a bard.
Am. Oh, you are.
Keyword was.
From your position, you can't tell if they are still there or if they see you. You are, as far as you can tell, you maintain your position. You are perfectly still on top of Hatch's body. You feel just the blood of coming from both of you just sort of seep together as it begins to pool out on the deck below you. we will cut away to you all at this point. Or cut away from you all. On the top deck, midships, Pandora, I need you to give me another Constitution saving throw to see if you are able to not be blinded right now.
Well, it's okay, because I was just crying, so keep her blinded, because I'm tired. She can stay blind for a while. She can take a nap. That was a nat 1.
You are still
bad
blind.
night.
You're still blind.
Yeah.
So, you are still blinded. Blanche, you see as like you look over the railing, you see that midships, the Charybdis Marauder vessel has taken on so much water at this point, it is riding significantly lower. The main mast is completely broken in half. Half of it is sort of hanging off into the water. All of the other sails and all of the other like masts on it are like broken or they're like jutting out at awkward angles now as the deck below them is completely like abraded and broken up from the explosion. There are no more cannons on that side of the ship that are functional. You see many Charybdis Marauder pirates just jumping over the sides. Give me a perception check.
That's a 17.
17. As you look over onto the damaged vessel, you see two figures suddenly appear at the helm. You see Shiv, and you see a woman. Looks to be a human woman with raven black hair, wearing a black dress with a very tight-fitting corset, her eyes green. Just looking over the water at you. You see Shiv. Shiv just smiles at you. Points a dagger and just sort of taps it against his teeth. And then just puts the blood-soaked daggers back into the sheaths at his side. At this point, you see this raven-haired woman with her fingers trace into the air this sigil. And as the ship beneath them slowly begins to sink deeper into the water, they suddenly disappear.
Oh, I'm gonna dine on that asshole's fingers one of these. Pandora, damn good job. You read my mind, bruv. Are you alright?
Miss Captain, I assume things are going well.
Well, you blew up the ship. Again, bravo, you read my mind.
Thank you, Captain. I learned from the best. Is everyone all right? By the way, I smell a lot of rotting flesh, and I'm just curious if there are any corpses I could use.
She kind of stops and finishes processing everything she just saw about Shiv. The blood on the daggers, and stops, looks around the deck. She doesn't see Hatch or Brash anywhere. Are there any other crew members that made it above deck?
At this point, you begin to hear the commotion below deck as you hear multiple cries suddenly ring out. At this point, as you begin to call out and try to get like a sense of who is still on the ship, you hear Grak's voice from below deck. No, damn it! And you see him come up from the stairs holding Friedrich's body. You do see, following close behind, Yanlin, the Harengon female, supporting with difficulty, Sindir, the Furbolg, as he is bleeding from the stomach area, the gut area. He looks to have taken multiple stab wounds. Yanlin looks like they are okay. Grill, the Kenku, has this massive gash across their face, but they keep repeating over and over again, I got him! I got him! I got him! Tyler Aarakocra is holding the body of Quinn, the half-elf, as they are being brought to the main deck. Lemegli is supporting Telkar. Telkar looks very, very bad at this point. Like, there are multiple wounds just all over their body and face. Lemegli, actually, the elf, looks fine. Like, they were able to hold their own long enough to not actually die.
All right.
It looks like the only fatalities are Quinn and Friedrich.
Looking among the crew that's in front of me, then she's just, where's Brash? Where's Hatch?
They all look around, and at this
Did you
point,
see him below deck?
Draquelle, it looks like she momentarily freezes. They're in the hold, and she
Dashes.
She misty steps, and she immediately apparates down in about 30 feet down into lower deck, and then dashes the rest of the way to Brash and Hatch's side. You can't see this, Brash or Hatch. Or actually, Brash, you would be able to because you are awake. Suddenly, this radiant light comes into the space around you, and as you sort of look up to the side, you notice that the first thing you notice is that Shiv and Rihanna are not there. The next thing you notice is Draquelle, seemingly even more beautiful than you saw before, completely transformed into their spring phase. And as they kneel down at your side, they are going to cast a healing word. Or, I'm sorry, mass healing word on... Mass healing word is... As you cast out... Okay. Words of restoration, up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range regain hit points equal to 1d4 plus. So they are going to... Yeah, they're going to cast mass healing word on the two of you. So it is 1d4 plus... Oh, so that is a 4... And then plus spellcasting ability modifier. So that is spring. You each get 11 hit points back. Hatch, you are back.
I look around just to make sure Shiv and Riri aren't there anymore.
It is actually kind of funny that you say Riri, because actually I'll say this afterwards. Never mind.
First mate, could you... I'm like trying to roll you off to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm sorry. And I will kind of place a hand on his chest, and as I push myself up, I'm also going to cast Healing Word on Hatch at second level.
As you do that, Hatch, you see that the person who you have to thank for bringing you back from Bright Ray is none other than Draquelle Tenebris.
Okay, hold on. I didn't know if you were thinking or you froze, because to me, everybody froze there for a second. What did you say?
I said that the person that you have to thank for bringing you back from returning to Bright Ray is none other than Draquelle Tenebris. Draquelle looks at you. She looks down. Her eyes go a little bit narrow. You still hate me, don't you?
Marginally less. But I still have a job to do.
She looks at your still disappeared right arm. So sorry I wasn't able to do anything about that.
We'll be fair. Your fault.
Perhaps maybe Dozer might be able to help you. I don't know. He has a talent for machinery creating art.
I put my other hand up. Maybe later. There's still a lot to do. I'll very slowly kind of crawl to my knees, kind of forgetting that I don't have an arm there, and using the other arm to kind of make up for that is a little clumsy.
I'll say, are you all intending to head to the main deck?
I can't see, so I don't think Pandora
I was asking
would.
Brash and Hatch.
Oh, got it.
Slowly but surely.
You're already on the main deck, although you might.
Yeah,
not know
I
it.
can't move. I'm not moving.
Also, you get 9 more hit points, Patch.
No, thank you. I'm almost up to full.
You're welcome.
I will put my hand on your back, kind of help you up to your feet as well, and kind of grab my sword. They got the orb, didn't they?
Yeah. There's 2 of them.
You call them twins. They're always 2. How much you want to bet they're taking them back to the Nightmares?
They're probably already there.
Fuck.
Let's not worry about it now.
Just get back up to the deck.
I imagine like both of us are like cursing expletives as we walk up the stairs.
Like arm on shoulders, kind of like trying to support each other up.
I'll say you make it all the way up to the top of the deck, and you see the scene that greets your eyes is truly grim. You see at midships, just as the ice has fully melted at this point, the charred portion of the midship portion of the hair trigger, as the deck is thoroughly blackened, not only by the fireball that dropped from Pandora, but also the fire that exhaled from Felix in chimera form. Felix is no longer in chimera form, by the way. They have since reappeared on Dozer's shoulder. And they look down, and you see them almost shed one single otter tear as they look down on the corpses of Friedrich and Quinn. Dozer sits down, his back to the mainmast, as he sees all of the bodies and all of the carnage around him. And at this point, the only thing remaining of the Charybdis Marauders vessel is the very topmost portion of the mainmast, as the mainmast and the crow's nest of that ship have just begun to slowly sink beneath the waters. There are 2 crewmates of the hair trigger who have been slain. There is an orb that is lost. What do you all choose to do? At this point, Pandora, I will say you're no longer blind.
I think when she opens her eyes and sees the 2 deceased crew members and recognizes the little hat she gave Friedrich.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Walls are up, tosses her hair back, hand on her hip. Takes her wand out and just curls it in her hair. So, I was saving my 4th level spell for something a bit more fabulous, but if you all want, I can ask if they want to come back. It won't be in the way you knew them, but death is only temporary.
Door.
Yes, First Mate.
And it's not even anger. It's just exhaustion. That he looks at you and goes, "Can you please just stop?" It's almost like a pleading in his eyes.
Captain Blanche, what thoughts are racing through your mind right now?
She's just sitting on the deck, staring at Friedrich and Quinn. She had wanted to run down below deck, but seeing how fast Draquelle reacted, she just turned and sat exactly where she was standing. And all she just keeps thinking this whole time is, I either run off every crew that I find, or I get them killed. I can either keep this nonsense up, or I can stop. And I don't think she's really able to draw a conclusion as to what she should do right now. Part of her thinks that she ought to leave the ship to Brash and just go back home, and the other part of her thinks that she still ought to leave the ship to Brash and hope he'll have her on for whatever part of the crew she could play. She's not saying anything. She's just sitting, staring at Friedrich and at Quinn. You don't see tears falling because of her, but you do see there are lines where the pink that normally shows through her fur is a little more pronounced.
Hatch. What is the first thought that you have as you sort of survey the scene aboard the HARETRIGGER?
I think Hatch is filled with fury. I think that as we come up to the deck and survey the damage, he's sort of crackling with a very latent electricity, and all he can think is, stop taking things from me. Stop taking my home. My arm, parts of this crew is gone. Stop taking things from us. And that is all that he can kind of think of, is that he's almost about to lose himself in how angry he is.
You're saying all of this out loud?
It's a loud mutterance. I think Brash is probably the only one that can actually hear what he's saying. But I think if you were close enough, you might hear something.
So Draquelle and Brash can hear you.
Yes.
Brash, you're actually in a very weird place right now. Because in the moment that you lost consciousness, you literally went to a place that could very well have been your favorite place in the whole world. A place where you were admired, and by not just an audience, but by the people who you respected and loved the most. Just everyone around you cheering on the music that you made. And then in another moment, it was all snatched back away from you. And to see death potentially for what it could have been, it doesn't feel all that bad. And then you are brought back to this plane of existence, and you see sort of the carnage around you. And you hear Hatch's words next to you. What are the thoughts that come into your mind in this moment?
I think as Hatch is just kind of verbally processing, venting, there's a big part of him, of Brash, that feels the exact same. But there's as much of a part that feels, this is what happened to him. This is exactly what happened to him. And he always figured. But to live through it is like a whole nother animal. And he, looking at Friedrich, looking at Quinn, just kind of walking over to the rest of the crew and their bodies. And it's almost like all sound has faded from the world for him. And this heaviness, this silence drudges up another memory of the same exact feeling as he spent days on the end of a dock, staring down into the water in purpley, because he couldn't think of anything else to do. And he will see Quinn and see Frederick. And see the damage that's been done to the ship. The burned midship, the waterlogged, the scratches, the arrows, all of it. And he will just come close to everyone. In very shaky breaths. He will kind of spit some blood out of his mouth, real quiet, under his breath. That was them. This is now. And he'll take his trunk and he will start to play just a real, it's almost like a funeral march. And as he's doing that, if everyone is in...
I'd say everyone is within 30 feet of you.
Well, I think it's everyone who can hear me for this one. He's just going to play a song of rest. And you will all be able to spend one additional hit die for whenever our short rest, if we get one, comes in. But the tone is not jaunty or uppity. It is very somber. It is very drawn out. And it is meant to be a reflection of this moment. Because he remembers himself as a little boy, not being able to do anything. He remembers himself below deck just now, not being able to do anything. And in this moment, Brash is swearing to himself, forget his dad for a moment, forget Blanche for a moment. He is swearing to himself that until it's all over, he will never do nothing again. And he will continue to play.
Pandora. You hear Brash's words telling you to stop. You hear him begin to play. You see the bodies of the dead crew around you, or on the deck. You see the cuts and the bruises and the wounds of all of the crew around you as well. You see Draquelle cradling their arm. Dozer is standing very somberly in respect.
If I may, Pandora, the way Pandora's brain works, she doesn't understand. And to her, maybe it's actually a form of her grieving as well, but she still wants to try to tap into the weave to see if the corpses of Friedrich and Quinn would like to rest or rise. She does not raise anyone who does not want to be risen. But she needs confirmation that they either want to rest or have another shot. And I'll spend the full spell regardless of whether they are animated or not, just to get that confirmation at 4th level.
Quinn does not respond. There is no impression. There's just resignation. They went down fighting in a world that was always kicking them. You had more of a relationship with Friedrich. And so as you begin to weave this spell, you hear sort of just faintly in your mind, again, Friedrich's body is not moving, but in this moment, you are speaking to whatever concept of the soul that exists, that is sort of hanging dimly over the ship, over the crew, over in the liminal space between worlds.
Oh. Mistress Pandora, what happened?
Hello, darling. Had a bit of a tumble. But it's quite all right. You're fine. You're safe. I just wanted to check with you. Quinn is very tired. Quinn has fought so hard and deserves a rest. And you, my good friend. And to that, she gestures to the hat. Have cared so well for this crew. You have loved everyone. More than your stature could even allow. I guess I just wanted to wish you well. For this is not a goodbye. For death is never an end.
There's a pause, and you feel just the smallest of impressions of Friedrich making sense of the words that you're speaking.
Are you going to be okay, Pandora?
Darling, you're always going to be watching out for me. With you at my side, in any life, of course, I'll be the safest ever been. My hero.
You take care. And, I hope you find what you're looking for.
Stop treating like this as farewell. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right? Until next time, darling. Now rest. You've earned it. And make sure you have that soup of yours waiting for Captain.
Oh, gee, that was
horrific.
Wait, that wasn't. Wait, did I make that? Did I make that soup?
He did make that soup.
Have a bowl waiting for us.
You say those words, and you hear just the faintest of echoes, almost as Friedrich's voice gets further and further away, slipping into at least the impression you get of resignation, and that it's okay to stop fighting. Just let go.
It would have been easier, and now she can't even help it, she's just talking out loud. It would have been easier to raise him. You fucking idiots. You fucking idiots. I could have brought them back. Idiots. All of you. She's gonna storm off and go below deck to her room.
And that is where we are going to leave it for tonight.
I love you guys.
I love you guys too, but also what the fuck? Dandy, what the fuck?
Damn fine work is what the fuck.
I was crying so much when I thought Brash and Hatch were dead.
The soup is what broke me. The soup got me.
Oh, our little buddy.
Soup that Hatch made.
No, that was a free trick. That was a free trick original.
Our little buddy.
How the fuck are you gonna say we're gonna have a small chat after this about whether or not we want to continue?
We have
we have
Friedrich to
we have
avenge.
vengeance
Damn straight.
to enact.
I need to burn this woman to a crisp. I'm convinced it's fucking what's-his-face's sister, the golden child girl or whatever his face. I don't care who she is. I need
Don't
to
say
watch
anything,
her
Andy.
face melt in my hands. Do you know who she is?
No, I do not.
Oh, good. No, I was asking Andy. I was like, do you know who she is?
No, I do not.
Yes,
I don't believe
definitely,
you.
I definitely know who she is.
I'm gonna melt her face, whoever she is, right off.
I
Bang,
think you have
zoom.
the answer.
If saying it could only make it so.
It's a promise.
Thank you all for watching. Please tune in next time to see how this adventure goes forward as our heroes are in the middle of an ocean dealing with the losses that have befallen them. We love you all. We hope you have a good rest of your week. And I hope you roll nothing but nat 20s. Good night, everyone.
Bye.